Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Seahawks send out their punter. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On first down, gone. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On first down, here's Breida. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the before it turns into something big.
Breida, he'll try. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now it's Breida, and they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stat. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos push further out in front. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 19. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Haskins will throw. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. And they'll indeed go for it with Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. It's a big play there for the Broncos. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. And surprisingly, they take a knee. I have no idea why they would take a knee, but they take a knee. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play. They come up in an offset eye. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick by Elliott is good. But hold everything here. They might have hit the kicker. And if they did, that'll be a first down. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This is Breida. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Coming to you, coming to you.
On third down, a run from Breida. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Here we go on fourth down. Haskins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard fourth down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 24. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run again with Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now Haskins to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. But to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They're going on fourth down. Haskins. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Another run by Lindsey. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 2nd and 12, Haskins going to take a shot. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Now this time he'll look to throw. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsey, 63 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Come on, set. 18 together. 15. Check my 15. And here we go.
Here's Breda. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Haskins. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position.
Hold on. Check.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way down to the 9. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 9.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, the win is their 8th on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
not a pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I get some orders, my homie, there's so many mil, cause bird in my dome and I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, you Sylvester Stallone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nick, you know what I'm about. I'm not this stereotype. I'm bigger than life. Give everyone jaws. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Lose to the team, I feel Jackson at heart. The homie caught it from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just got all of the dudes to the world. I'm worried about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clarity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus, banging on they taking notice, taking notice. Determination, laser focus, banging on they taking notice.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Stephen Hauschka now about set to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Set, 180. Okay, just like that.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From the 40 now on second down, Mayfield. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. Past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Robert Foster, 55 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. 23 yards on the play. Mayfield on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. From the red zone now, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 22-yard scamper as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second and 11 now. Allen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's T.J. Carey who picked it, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, seam 6.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen. And how about this, a fake? Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Here we go. Here we go.
First down, Bill.
Everyone got 4 down. On the ball.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Joe Schobert leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Allen. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. They do it. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Matt Milano, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
22 yards there, a first down. First down, Mayfield. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Mayfield under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well, and he would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Open man, here's Foster. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Allen now on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Allen to throw once more. Just keeping the... And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Singletary again. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On first down, it's Gore. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Let's make these babies cry.
And now they'll throw with Allen. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, Gore. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 31, Allen got an open man. It's Foster. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now Allen, and tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Credit that break up to Greedy Williams.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills have taken the lead. They don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jerry Hughes, his second sack of the night. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now Mayfield on fourth down. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth.
First down. First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jerry Hughes on the stop. Throwing on second down. Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 at the 40. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing on first down is Allen. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
64, we
They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Oh, no, he lost the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.